So we're very excited to report on the updated results of our phase 1b study of the combination regimen of Ibrutinib plus Obinutuzumab in relapsed or refractory CLL. So this was a multi-center investigator-initiated study in which we investigated the regimen of Ibrutinib in combination with Obinutuzumab. And just very briefly by way of background, so the combination of Ibrutinib and Obinutuzumab is approved in the frontline setting, but there's much less data on this regimen in the relapsed or refractory setting. And at the same time, we know that Ibrutinib monotherapy, while effective in the relapsed refractory setting, does not really lead to high rates of complete response. And so the rationale and the hypothesis of this study was that the combination of Ibrutinib with Obinutuzumab could actually improve the efficacy that we've seen in historical studies. So there were a total of 52 patients enrolled, and they were initially actually randomized to one of 3 different drug sequencing arms. But in total, our primary endpoint was actually safety, and secondary endpoints for the main clinical efficacy outcomes. Just very briefly, in terms of safety, we did not see any new safety or toxicity signals of this regimen, which is now, as I mentioned, very well established in the frontline setting. And with regard to efficacy, there was a very high overall response rate of 96%, with a complete response rate by IWCLL criteria of 40%. And in addition, the responses were very durable. So at this meeting, we're excited to report actually the 4-year progression-free and overall survival rates. The 4-year progression-free survival rate was 73%, and the overall 74%, and the overall survival rate was 93%. And I think really notably, when we looked at the 4-year progression-free and overall survival rates stratified by high-risk disease features, so we looked at IGHV mutated versus unmutated patients, as well as patients with TP53 aberrant disease versus those who did not have TP53 aberrant disease. We did not see any statistically significant differences in the 4-year progression-free or overall survival rates. The other notable aspect is that in this study, it included 3 patients who had progressed on venetoclax, and all 3 of those patients responded. So overall, we are very excited about the results of this study. It led to a very high response rate in a relapsed refractory disease population. This combination regimen of Ibrutinib and Obinutuzumab led to higher complete response rates than what has been seen with Ibrutinib monotherapy. No new safety signals, and definitely excited about how this study provides foundation for further investigating this regimen in the relapsed refractory disease setting, and particularly post-venetoclax.